So hey guys, how are you all? Welcome to. So we are back with a brand new movie on what if Naruto had betrayed by inister Sakura. Hope of Heartless movie. But before we start, be sure to subscribe to our channel and like this video. Now let's begin the story. Blood poured out of every wound Naruto Uzumaki had suffered in the battle against his biggest rival and his Sannin mentor. Still, Naruto couldn't help but smile as he slowly trudged home with an unconscious Sasuke draped over his shoulder. Jiraiya had gone ahead to inform the village of their success and have medics and Anbu on standby. The familiar gates of Konoha rose to meet them as a group of medics and Sakura ran to meet them. Her eyes were flooded in tears, the smile Naruto treasured so dearly beaming on her face. As Naruto lowered to a knee to gently place Sasuke on a stretcher, Sakura's mood changed as she noticed all the wounds on Sasuke's body. Tears of joy dried as Sakura's treasured smile disappeared in an instant. Suddenly her hand shot out, smashing into the side of Naruto's already battered face in a thunderous slap. What did you do? In that instant all the pain in the body of Naruto Uzumaki, the cuts, the holes in his stomach that he received at the hands of Orochimaru, even the Chidori-sized hole in his shoulder, paled in comparison to the sting of a slap from the women he loved. Huh? What the hell did you do? She asked again, slapping him a second time. She continued to interrogate him, slapping him after each question. Again and again, not minding the fact that her hands were now coated in blood that poured from gashes in the blonde shinobi's cheeks that she had given him. She continued her assault with many of the onlookers cheering her on, happy that the demon child was getting some well-deserved punishment. Blow after blow raining down on a broken Naruto, each slap accompanied by a sickening smack, each more grotesque than the last. Answer me, why, you bastard? What the hell did you do to my Sasuke-kun? Finally Naruto was able to get over the shock enough to give a somber reply. I kept my promise. With this the blonde shinobi felt the darkness envelope him and passed out. An unfazed Sakura pulled back to kick her downed ex-friend when suddenly every muscle in her body locked. Instinctively knowing the cause, Sakura scanned her surroundings to find one. Nara Shikamaru staring at her from the shadows. Damn it, Shikamaru, let go and butt out. Like hell I will. That's one of my best friends you're torturing. And you, Anbu, what the hell? Why didn't you stop her? Shikamaru motioned to the three Anbu who until this time had just stood back and enjoyed the show. Why would we? It's pretty damn entertaining seeing the mighty Kyuubi get beat by a little girl. As far as we're concerned, it's karmic retribution. Such insolence. A voice rang out as three kunai flew from the trees, each embedding itself in a knee of an Anbu. As all three Anbu lay on the ground writhing in pain, a woman stepped out of the brush. Shikamaru recognized her as one of the proctors for the Chunin exams. She was the crazy one. Well, they were all crazy, but she was especially kind of crazy, you know, homicidally. You three are a disgrace to the Anbu. Anko-sama. One of the Anbu cried. Apparently they knew about her craziness. Forgive us, please, we're sorry. Not as much as you're gonna be. Anko smirked as she pulled out more kunai. Sorry to interrupt, Shikamaru droned, but I take it you're on my side. So you mind taking Naruto to the hospital for me? Anko only nodded in confirmation and chunked the kunai haphazardly at the crowd of onlookers, sending them scattering. As she picked up Naruto and began to run off, Shikamaru called out, don't leave him in the care of anybody other than Shizune or Tsunade. Anko waved her hand in acknowledgement and disappeared. So Sakura. Shikamaru returned his attention to Sakura, who by now had given up any attempt to escape his jutsu. You want to tell me what the hell this is all about? Look at what he did to Sasuke-kun, Naruto, that idiot. You're serious? You're the idiot. Has it occurred to you that maybe Sasuke put up a fight? Naruto did that to bring you back your precious traitor and you beat him in appreciation? But look at Sasuke-kun's face, he looks so hurt. Damn, you are so far gone. No, you know what, you're right, Naruto went over the line. God forbid he gives Sasuke a black eye when Naruto only has a freaking hole in his stomach. Good God, what a selfish bitch. Shikamaru released Sakura and began heading to the hospital with only one thought running through his head. Ingrates, how troublesome. End flashback. Naruto. Hey, Sakura bellowed, annoyance clear on her face. Sorry, Sakura-chan. So how's Sasuke? Naruto asked hesitantly. Why do you care? You're the one that did this to him. Sakura-chan, I'm sorry, it's just that it was the only way, besides I went as easy as I could on him, please understand. No. You understand, Naruto. Not everyone has a demon in them to save them. Sakura noticed Naruto wince at this comment. It was so hard to break Naruto's blindingly sunny disposition. Now that she found an opening, she had to exploit it. I guess it's my fault. I should never have expected a monster to know anything about being gentle, huh, Naruto? There it was, the knockout shot. Sakura smirked at her victory as Naruto's eyes widened. Whatever, Close my curtains, Sakura. Wouldn't want to spend too much time with a demon now, would you? Naruto replied as he lay his head back down, closing his eyes to keep in the tears that were gathering. He winced again as some tears escaped his eyes and rolled onto his cheeks, stinging the wounds from Sakura. Naruto enjoyed the sting. The pain was somehow comforting. If he were just some damn monster, it wouldn't hurt so much, right? Sakura smiled as she began to hear Naruto sob quietly. Although she enjoyed the thought of finally doing some damage, she couldn't help but hurt a little as well. That was the first time since they met that he called her Sakura, as opposed to Sakura-chan. I kinda feel bad for the kid, don't you? Inner Sakura questioned. Not at all. Look at Sasuke-kun. Yeah, but if it wasn't for Naruto-kun, Sasuke-kun wouldn't be here, period. True. Wait a minute. Did you just call Naruto-kun? Hey, so I did. Hey. Oh, come on, it's not like the poor guy doesn't deserve it. What do you mean? Are you serious? That kid has been nothing but nice to us since day we met. When Sasuke-kun ran away, he put his own feelings for you on the side to promise you Sasuke's retrieval. His feelings for me? Don't act dense, he loves you and you know it? Yeah, I know. But I love Sasuke-kun. Yeah, how's that working out for you? Shut up. Don't mock Sasuke-kun. I'm not mocking Sasuke-kun. I'm mocking you and your stupidity. If you don't like it, you can leave. Oh, trust, if it were possible I would be out of here and with Naruto-kun. Stupid, you're supposed to be on my side. Naruto woke to the feel of someone gently touching his face. As he opened his eyes, the world was blurred badly. Damn, crying myself to sleep, he berated himself. As his vision began to slowly return, Naruto only saw a soft white light, save for the beautiful girl looking down upon him. Eyes like pearls and silky blue hair hanging down, softly grazing his face. Her soft and tender hands were tenderly rubbing his cheeks, soothing the gashes in his cheeks with a warm touch. So that's it, I'm dead, huh? Well, at least I died keeping a promise. Hey, maybe this is for the best. I won't have to say everyone move on with their lives and have their happiness crammed down my throat. Wish I could have said goodbye to some people. Thought Shikamaru, Choji, and Kiba are gonna be pissed. Gaara and his brother and sister were pretty cool too. Iruka and Kakashi Sensei, Tsunade Oba-chan, Shizune-chan and even Ero Sennin, I'm gonna miss them all. Oh yeah, and Hinata-chan, I'll definitely miss her. Thinking back, I should have talked to her more. It's just that between Neji's threats and her penchant for fainting, I couldn't tell how she felt about me. I mean, she could have just faked all that stuff so that I'd leave her alone, but then again, when we did talk, she seemed like far too nice a person to do something like that. At this, the angel's gentle. I mean, she is the heiress to the Hyuga clan and I'm just the Kyuubi brat, as her father likes to call me. Well, joke or not, Hinata's nice. She's always there with some sort of encouragement. I just wish others could see just how special she is. I mean, she's as pretty as Ino but doesn't flaunt it, as smart as Sakura but doesn't lord it over everybody, and she is the most genuine person I know. Most people treat her way too harshly or overlook her. Her father, that bastard, has her scared out of her mind, yet she still stands up every day and does what she has to do. Wow, I guess somehow at some point in time Hinata became a really important person to me. Naruto's thoughts were interrupted by the sensation of something wet falling on him. Oh, I'm sorry, Angel-chan. Please don't cry. I was so wrapped up in my memories I completely ignored you. Please forgive me. Naruto reached up and gently wiped the tears from the eyes of the angel, hoping not to poke her eye due to his still hindered vision. Angel-chan, thanks for listening even though I apparently bored you to tears. Also, thank you for the comfort. You're so warm. This may be the warmest I've ever felt. Then again, this heaven, so I guess it's to be expected. Naruto blinked a couple of times, trying to speed along the return of his vision. You know, Angel-chan, you look exactly like the girl I was just talking about. A tinge of pink formed on the cheeks of the angel. It makes sense though, she always had this angel on earth sort of vibe to her. I'll miss her. Naruto sighed. What an idiot. A voice grumbled beside Naruto. The young blonde turned his head to find one Shikamaru Nara sitting in a chair next to him. Naruto rubbed his eyes furiously. Shikamaru, you're dead too? Awesome. Now you can keep me company? I'm not dead, Naruto no baka, although I do appreciate you letting me know how much you would enjoy it if I was, I think. Anyways, I'm not dead and neither are you, and that beautiful and caring Angel-chan is Hinata you reject. Shikamaru snickered as Naruto turned to see the now scarlet-faced Angel. Hello Naruto-kun. How are you feeling? The young Hyuga heiress was no trembling noticeably. 3, 2, 1. And she's gone? Shikamaru chuckled as the now unconscious Hinata Hyuga descended on Naruto, her head slamming into the Chidori wound in his shoulder. Yeah. How the hell do the Hyugas have such hard heads? Naruto yelped and fidgeted at the pain shooting up and down his arm. Suddenly his eyes widened in a horrible realization. He slowly turned to Shikamaru, visibly frightened. Shikamaru, was I talking out loud? Yep. How much did I say out loud? All of it. Seriously? Yep. Do you have a kunai on you? Why? I suddenly feel that harakiri is appropriate. Then you'll have to do the same speech over again. True. Should I take her home? Shikamaru asked, motioning towards Hinata. Nah, it's fine. Naruto stated, looking at the sleeping Hyuga on his shoulder. If it isn't too troublesome, do you think you could go grab an extra pillow? I highly doubt she would enjoy waking up on my bloody shoulder. So troublesome. Shikamaru sighed as he left the room. While Shikamaru was gone, Naruto couldn't help but admire Hinata as she slept. He couldn't believe how much he truly thought she was an angel just a few moments ago. If you're gonna kiss her and confess your undying love for her, you should probably wait for her to wake up. Shove it, Shikamaru. Naruto bellowed as he gently tucked the pillow under Hinata's head. Hey Shikamaru. Don't get me wrong, I appreciate the visits, but why are you guys here? I dunno. The Chunin genius shrugged. You're a friend, a dear friend. I can't let you rot in this place alone. Shikamaru noted the look of recognition on Naruto's face. Truly, Naruto was his closest friend save for Azuma, Shoji and Ino. In the few hours a day she isn't whining about something. Besides, someone has to protect you from the rabid Uchiha fangirls, incompetent Anbu, and plotting villagers, right? You mean the usual? Naruto smirked. Yep. They really do hate me, don't they? Naruto's trademark grin was unable to mask the serious tones in his voice. They don't hate you, they hate the thing in you. They're just too foolish to differentiate between Kyuubi and Naruto Uzumaki. Not all of them. Sakura hates me, and me not the Kyuubi. Yeah, so forget Sakura. You've been nothing but nice to her, and she's been nothing but a frigid bitch to you since day one. Unbeknownst to Shikamaru, Sakura had entered the room to check on Sasuke and had heard everything from behind the curtain. She was about to walk in and give Shikamaru a piece of her mind when Naruto spoke up. I can't be mad at her. You don't know her like I do. You look at her and see a pretty face and an ugly attitude. I see someone with so much warmth they could melt ice. What the hell are you talking about? Shikamaru was becoming annoyed at his friend's naivety. When I was 5 years old and was just wandering around town. I was walking near the park when I saw the prettiest girl I had ever seen crying her eyes out under a tree. Her kitty had climbed up a tree and couldn't get down. I really couldn't have cared less about the cat, but something about that girl couldn't let me just watch her cry. Before I knew what was happening, I was climbing the tree and getting the cat. When I got out of the tree, that same girl wrapped her arms around me and held me close to her. I had no idea what was going on. All I knew was that it felt so warm, so comforting. Shikamaru, that was the first time I was ever hugged as a child, and the person to share their warmth with me was Sakura. Shikamaru answered, understanding swimming in his voice. Naruto only nodded. From that moment on, I decided that I would live for the warmth of this person. I know I always say that I live to be Hokage, and that is the truth. As Hokage, I will truly have the authority to do anything in my power to see her happy. I wanted that hug to last forever, and as I grew older I realized that feeling was love. I loved Sakura. When I realized that it could never be, I just decided that it would be easier to just be there for her, forever. But I couldn't even do that, right? I dunno, Shikamaru, maybe I should move on. It's one thing to love someone who doesn't acknowledge you. Loving someone who hates you is entirely different. I'm scared though. What if I never get over this pain? Would it be fair to someone to tell them I love them, when I'd still be completely in love with Sakura? It seems pretty damn selfish to me. I am a monster. No, you're not, Sakura thought to herself, remembering that day. Wow, that was some strong stuff, huh? Inner Sakura asked. Yeah, I had no idea. Sakura answered mentally. You wouldn't, now would you? So busy chasing old gloom and doom over there. But I love Sasuke-kun. Do you love him or the idea of being with him? I love him, I think. Well, I don't know if you love him or not, but I do know that Naruto-kun loves you. It's not every day you hear someone say they live for you and your warmth. I know, or maybe I don't know what I know. With this, Sakura retreated from the hospital room, a single tear rolling down her cheek. Idiot, Shikamaru said as he walked over to Naruto and began rustling his hair. Don't talk like that. If you're a monster, then the rest of these people are evil incarnate. Look, Naruto, I can't say I know what you feel, cause I don't. But if I had had the childhood you had, I could understand living for warmth. But Baka, there are other forms of warmth. I seem to recall you being ready to melt a few seconds ago in the hands of our little unconscious angel over there. Before Shikamaru could continue, Hinata began to stir on Naruto's shoulder. She instantly became pink at the realization that all eyes were on her. Her blush only increased when she realized the position she was in. I'm so very sorry, and Naruto-kun. Tears began to well in her eyes at the embarrassment of inconveniencing her crush. No problem, Angel-cha, Hinata-chan. Just put away those tears, okay? Hinata nodded, grateful for his understanding. In fact, I should be thanking you for visiting me. It really isn't a PP problem. However, I should be going. The young Hyuga began to leave when she stopped and fished a familiar tub out of her coat pocket. Here you go, Naruto-kun. Is this what I think it is? Naruto asked. She nodded in confirmation. Why yes, it's the healing balm I made, she answered as she began twiddling her fingers. Awesome. Thanks, Hinata-chan. Shikamaru, this stuff Hinata makes, out of this freaking world. I'll take this over any medicine this hospital can dish out. Really, Hinata, thank you for everything. Hinata only blushed deeper and waved goodbye as she ran out the door. An angel, huh? Shikamaru asked as he began to walk out the room. Naruto only stared at the tub in his hand. Yeah, an angel. An angel indeed. It had been an interesting couple of days since Shikamaru and Hinata's first visit. Their visits had become a daily occurrence now, and the blonde shinobi couldn't be happier for it. Slowly but surely the other members of the Konoha 12, the Rookie 9 and Guy's team, had given their well wishes in one way or another. Well, everyone except Sasuke, who was still unconscious, and Sakura, who still hated him because of it. Kiba and Choji set up a tab with Ichiraku's ramen shop so that Naruto would have ramen delivered to him morning, noon, and night. A gift for which Naruto was truly grateful and made a mental note to give his two friends huge hugs when he got out. Ino had sent over one of the most beautiful bouquet of flowers Naruto had ever seen. Tenten had visited once and couldn't stop herself from crying while apologized profusely to Naruto for any and every wrong she had ever done to him, which Naruto found out that there weren't many of, but at least he learned that Tenten was horrible when it came to dealing with guilt. Lee had visited once and challenged Naruto to a fitness competition, and tried to drag him out of bed when he refused. This earned him a scolding from Shizune, but thanks from Naruto, who was beginning to get bored. Shino had a couple dozen butterflies fly through the window and deliver a get well soon card. To others this may not seem like much, but to Naruto it was pretty significant that Shino of all people considered him a friend. Neji sent a card that had a challenge for a rematch, and a warning to stay away from Hinata in it. Naruto had learned enough about Neji to translate the card. It was Neji language for get well soon, and, well, there was no second meaning behind the second half. It meant plain and simply stay the hell away from Hinata. Sakura was also having an interesting couple of days, bittersweet to put it simply. She was of course thrilled that Sasuke was back, but worried that he had still not woken up. She was angry at Naruto for hurting Sasuke, but couldn't help be angry at herself as well for her treatment of Naruto. Most of the villagers treated her like a hero after word had spread about her punishing the Kyuubi boy. However, Naruto was not without his allies. This was made perfectly clear when Ayame of the Ikiraku ramen shop flung a bowl at Sakura's head as soon as she walked into the shop. After a scolding from her father, she went to the back grumbling about ingrates with no hearts. Sakura decided it would be better to find a different place to eat. She had no trouble finding acceptance with many villagers. However, her friendship with most of her shinobi peers had become quite strained. Most, if not all of them, had come to resent her for reaping the rewards of betraying Naruto, as Kiba once put it. Hinata seemed to be the most spiteful of them all. Now Sakura and Hinata were by no means the best of friends, but they were at the very least acquaintances. After the incident, however, Hinata had made no effort to even acknowledge Sakura's existence. Shizune and Tsunade refused to train her, citing her as being too heartless to wield the strength she would gain responsibly. In the end, the only friend that was still on speaking terms with Sakura was Ino. Taking all these considerations into account, it was no surprise that Sakura would always end up in the Yamanaka flower shop. So what brings you around here, Sakura? Ino didn't bother to look up from the flowers. Just need some human contact, that's all, the pink-haired Kunoichi sighed. Geez, this whole situation is really eating you up, huh? I just don't get it. Everybody likes Sasuke better than Naruto, everybody, or at least they did. Although I don't know when it all changed. I mean, what do they see in him? Isn't he still the loudmouth dimwit that everyone used to love to hate? Isn't he still dead last? Damn, Sakura, you really are an idiot, aren't you? You know that answer better than anybody, don't you? Sakura just stared at Ino, confused. Look, you really have to be blind to not notice that Naruto is nowhere near where he was when we started out. I mean, he's saved us all numerous times, especially you. Remember when Gaara had attacked? Not only does he save you from him, but he pulls the little psycho out of his madness and single-handedly mends the relationship between the leaf and the sand. Not to mention all the other stuff he's done, but I shouldn't have to tell you about that, Sakura. I guess what I'm trying to say is that dead last has quickly fought his way to the head of the pack. You're serious? Absolutely. I don't see, but everyone else seems to. All our friends pretty much hate me. They don't hate you. Most are just disappointed in you. Just give them some time, they'll forgive you. They'll never forget, but they may forgive. Besides, most of them have a valid grudge, you know. They watched one of their closest friends practically kill himself to see you happy, and then you reacted the way you did. I'm their friend too, you know. Besides, it's not like Naruto wasn't my friend too. Oh, was he now? Why, yes. You look like you understand now. Before Sakura could answer, the door to the shop opened and none other than Hinata Hyuga walked into the shop. She began browsing around the shop without noticing who her fellow occupants were. Sakura and Ino exchanged some nervous glances at each other while Hinata walked towards the counter. Ah, hello Ino. Would you mind wrapping these for me? As the young Hyuga handed Ino the flowers she picked, she hazarded a glance at Sakura, who stiffened at her gaze. Hello, Sakura. Sakura's name was said in an almost ice-cold tone. Hello Hinata. How have you been? Oh, just fine Sakura, just fine. A long silence hung in the air as Ino went to the back room of the shop to wrap Hinata's flowers. So how's Naruto doing? Sakura flinched as she noticed Hinata's fist clench. Wrong question to ask. He's doing just fine. A little disappointed that you haven't visited, he desperately wants to apologize to you. Though the Hyuga heiress maintained her composure, anyone could detect a certain amount of venom in her words. Before the conversation could carry on, Ino returned with the flowers. After Hinata paid, she bowed slightly to Ino and began walking towards the door. See you around, Ino. Thank you. Take care, Sakura. With that she was gone. Remember the whole "your friends don't hate you" thing? Well, I take it back, she just may hate you. Ino said as she looked at her friend's bewildered expression. Then again, that's probably to be expected. I mean, she loves the guy. Doesn't matter to me. Let her have him. I hope they're miserable together. Sakura was cut off by a firm but not harsh slap from Ino. What the hell, Ino? Listen to yourself. You know as well as I do you don't mean that. Maybe I don't. What's his appeal anyway? What does she see in him? You want to find out? Ino began to smirk deviously. Explain. I've been studying one of my family's higher-level techniques. Basically, we get to wander around a person's mind. We can experience their memories and really find out what makes them tick. It's mostly used for spying and interrogation, but I don't see why it won't work here. Do you think you can do it? Sounds pretty high level to me. Don't forget who you're talking to, forehead. An arrogant grin graced Ino's face. Let's do it. With that, Sakura and Ino ran off towards the hospital, preparing to gain a better perspective on Naruto from someone who seemed to have best. It was your typical reunion. The standard trivial niceties were exchanged, and he was given the flower by Tamari. Kankuro handed him a note that Gaara had sent since, being the cage, he couldn't just up and leave Suna. Tamari and Kankuro watched quietly as Naruto read the contents of the letter. Naruto, first and foremost, I apologize for not being able to visit in person. I assume you understand. I hope it was worth it to you, Naruto. I don't see how it is. You're the one who taught me the idea of having precious people, Naruto, but I think you take it too far. I would have let the bastard go, or killed him, but then again that's probably why you're you and I'm me. I heard from some merchants about the little incident with that pink-haired girl you seem so fond of. I've chosen not to tell Kankuro or Tamari for fear of that fool's life, so you probably shouldn't say anything. Naruto, I know you care for that village, though I don't understand why, but if you ever realize just how much that village doesn't deserve you, there will always be a seat by my side for you here in the sand. Watch yourself, Naruto, you're like a brother to me. Gaara. P.S. You tell anyone about that brother thing and I will kill you. Naruto couldn't help but grin at the letter. It had been a while since he had seen the angry redhead, but from what he had heard from the other Sand siblings, he was becoming more human every day. His contemplating was cut short by the yanking of the letter from his hand. He looked up to see Tamari smirking at him while she began to read. What are you doing? The blonde boy questioned, arms flailing in the air. Reading. Tamari replied matter-of-factly. Stop that. Give it here. Huh? Ah, come on, Naruto. This is the first non-business letter I've seen him write. As his older sister, I would be a fool to not see how his humanity is coming along. If he wanted you to read it, he would have let you. Please, Naruto. Do it for Tamari Oni-chan. The Sand Kunoichi cooed. What are you babbling about? Naruto, you know you're like family to me, right? Now that's a cheap tactic, trying appeal to my loneliness. Cold, Tamari, just cold. Naruto hung his head only to lift it when he felt a hand on his shoulder. Naruto, I was teasing about the letter, I'll admit that. However, the part about you being family was the absolute truth. Really? I could never lie about something like that. You've done more for me and my brothers than even our own father. I doubt you could ever grasp just how dear you were to us. Tamari's voice began to tremble at the raw emotions that had been evoked. She's telling the truth, kid. Kankuro chimed in, breaking the silence that had enveloped them. You gave us our little brother back. Not only that, but you showed him something no one else ever could. for that you will always be family. You have no idea how much that means to me. Naruto was pulled from his appreciation by Temari. Naruto? Yes, Temari Oni-chan? Naruto loved the way his new title for Temari sounded. That pink-haired girl that you seem so fond of, is that the bubble-headed one that is always treating you like dirt? Yep, why? What was this incident that Gaara wrote about? Oh crap, I can't believe I forgot about that, Naruto thought frantically, trying to find a way to avoid answering. Oh, nothing, Temari Oni-chan, don't worry about it. MMHMM. Come on, Konkuro, we got someone to see. Get real, like I want to talk to that airhead. Konkuro said, planting his foot in defiance. We're not going to see her. We are going to talk to Shikamaru. If anything happens in this town, he knows. With that, the two members of Naruto's newfound family walked out of the room. End flashback. Family, huh? Naruto looked down to the still sleeping Hyuga and smiled gently before saying, yeah, family. With the thoughts of a family dancing in his mind, Naruto closed his eyes and began to drift off to sleep. All was quiet when the two Kunoichi crept into the room that housed the two broken teammates. Sakura stopped in front of a curtain that ran down the middle of the room and peeked inside to find a sleeping Naruto and Hinata. After motioning an okay to Ino, she led Ino behind the curtain to Naruto's side of the room. Sakura and Ino sat in to chairs opposite the side that Hinata was on. So you ready? Ino asked as she brought her hands up in the familiar triangle pose. Yeah. Sakura said without a moment's hesitation. Wait a minute, what about our bodies? Huh? Our bodies are gonna be lifeless while we are in there. Sure, we're sitting down, but what if someone comes in to find us dead to the world? Don't worry about that, the only ones who will treat Naruto are Tsunade and Shizune. Shizune's on a mission right now, and Tsunade, being the Hokage, won't be by until nightfall at the earliest. You sure you can do this? Didn't you say it was Junin level on the way over here? Sure, as long as I can have complete focus. How many times have you done it? Once. Huh? Once, but it was easy enough. So are you ready? Ino prepared herself again. Okay. Kokura Hokusha no Jutsu, she called out as Sakura looped her arms through Ino's. What are you two doing? The girls turned to see a very confused Shikamaru. Before the girls could reply, they felt the strange feeling of being pulled from their bodies, and then darkness. Ino and Sakura awoke to find themselves in a corridor of sorts. The faint light that leads its way down the corridor was red in color. There was this intense feeling of dread amongst the two as they began walking down the corridor. This is Hinata's mind. I guess so. I've never seen anything like this, Ino said, a slight tremor of fear evident in her voice. So what do? We look until we find what we have been looking for. The two girls walked or what felt like eternity until they came into a huge room. The room was shrouded in a dark reed haze as the girls walked in and tried to look around. What the hell? Ino asked as she walked up to what only could be considered a gargantuan cage. Her question was answered by a booming yet ragged voice. What the hell, indeed. Get out of here, you wenches. Oh, no, Sakura mumbled. Ino, unable to hear Sakura, spoke up. What the hell are you? And what in God's name are you doing in Hinata's mind? Some shifting went on in the cage, and a pair of crimson eyes peered out of the darkness. Well, if it isn't a Yamanaka. I haven't seen one of your clan in years. For being so mind-jutsu-oriented, your group always was on the stupid side. Don't insult my clan. You still haven't answered what you're doing in Hinata. Ino, this isn't Hinata's mind. What are you talking about? Ding, ding, ding. Give the girl a prize. You two aren't in the Hyuga, you idiot. You're in the presence of the almighty Kyuubi. Naruto? Ino whispered. Yes, you're in his mind, you dope. But I don't want to talk to you. Where's the one that figured it out? She seems smart enough to have a conversation with. Come on out. Sakura stepped forward out of the haze. Oh, it's you. Contempt coding every word. What do you want? Come here to hit me too. I'll tell you one thing, unlike the kid, you even look at me the wrong way and I'll rip your throat out. Sakura just stood there shivering. What's the matter? Can't talk trash when the monster is in front of you. I hear everything the kid hears, I see everything he sees, and I know everything he feels. So let me guess, you were gonna toy with the mind of that Hyuga girl, weren't you? What were you gonna do? Take away one of the only people that care about him? The Kyuubi roared and the room they were in shook. No, we weren't going to do anything like that. We just wanted to see what she sees in Naruto. Ino replied, trying her best to shake off the fear. What do you care? The Kyuubi seemed only further enraged at the explanation. She doesn't see anything in the boy, all she sees is the boy. The Kyuubi voice began to grow softer. This boy has taken so much trash from you idiot villagers. Any other one of you bastard humans would have killed yourselves long ago. All this cause they can't see past me. I vowed long ago that I would see this boy get everything he deserved, and I intend to keep that vow. You want to see what she sees in him? How about I do you one better, you worms? Take a look in his life. See if you still don't think he deserves a little bit of happiness. With that, the crimson eyes of the Kyuubi began to glow and the dark red haze began to swirl around the room. Suddenly shouting was heard, shouting and the sounds of blows being landed. Sakura and Ino walked towards the source of the noises to find a crowd of people gathered around a fallen boy. The crowd wasn't gathering to check on the boy, however, they were gathered to beat him. Blow after blow landed on the object of their scorn. Curses and taunts littered the air. The girls tried to intervene but found they couldn't move. Slowly the crowd died down as the fervor of the beating apparently had passed. People began leaving. The girls cold do nothing as the now beaten little boy slowly rose, bloody, battered, most of his clothes torn to shreds. The boy began to walk away when he stumbled into a nice elderly lady. The boy apologized profusely and was about to walk away. The two girls gasped as the elderly lady swung the cane full force against the side of the head of the child, snapping the cane in half. The lady gave one last curse before walking away. The boy slowly got up and turned towards the two girls, blood pouring down his face. The girls would never forget what they saw next. This child, who had just been beaten to the point that most grown men would have died, looked them dead in the face and simply smiled. The smile that they had known as the trademark of one of their friends. Naruto, was all they could say. The two kunoichi just stood there in a daze. This battered, bloody, smiling child was none other than their friend Naruto. The dope, the loud mouth, the sickeningly optimistic ball of energy, was standing before them with his trademark grin plastered on his face. The haze swirled again and the two girls found themselves in a small broken apartment. A familiar blonde little boy was cowering in the corner of the room wrapped in a tattered blanket, holding on to a small stuffed fox. The girls were awoken from their pity by the sound of glass shattering as a brick sailed through the window next to the boy. "Oh, look, another one," the boy mumbled as he walked over and retrieved the brick. The girls could only look on in shock as the boy placed the brick in a corner of the room with dozens of other bricks and rocks. There were kunai embedded on the wall opposite the window with notes reading all sorts of curses hanging from them. What shook the two onlookers the most was that the boy handled the situation like it was the most normal thing in the world, which to them meant that this had happened before, probably many times before. Again the girls were pulled from their thoughts by the sound of breaking glass. Through the window rolled a rock-wrapped flaming rags that quickly burst into a small fire. "And here comes the fire," the boy grumbled as he walked out of the room. His voice didn't hold the innocence of a child, but rather the edge of a man who had been to hell and back. He grabbed a bucket filled with water and calmly extinguished the fire, once again like it was a familiar routine. The boy then calmly went back to his corner with his blanket and fox. "Happy birthday indeed," were the last words to leave the child's mouth before he rolled over and drifted to sleep. Before the two kunoichi could even break from the stupor that the scene had held them in, the haze swirled again, this time even stronger. The haze broke to reveal Sasuke and Sakura waiting at the bridge that had become Team 7's trademark waiting point. The young Sakura was elated for some reason and was clinging to the brooding Uchiha. It was then that the cheery pink-haired girl decided to speak. "Hey Sasuke-kun, guess what today is?" The dark-haired boy didn't even acknowledge that she spoke. "Oh come on Sasuke-kun, it's no fun if you don't guess." "Go away," the boy muttered coldly. "Ah Sasuke, why do you have to be so cold?" "Because you have to be so damn annoying, as well as so damn dense that you can't accept no for an answer." A look of utter hurt washed over the pink-haired child. Just then a familiar blonde boy slowly shuffled his way towards them. "Good morning Sakura-chan," the blonde boy beamed. "What do you want Naruto?" Sakura grumbled. "Nothing Sakura-chan, just wanted to say happy birthday." The pink-haired girl was taken aback a little at the sudden acknowledgement from the blonde. "Thank you Naruto." She then hazarded a glance to the dark-haired boy who did nothing but scowl at her. Her revelry was cut short by the blonde. "Hey Sakura-chan, for your birthday let me treat you to dinner. It can be me, you, Ino, and even Sasuke can go." He was cut off by the slamming of the young kunoichi's fist in his face. The impact sent the boy flying back about a good 10 feet. "I knew you couldn't just be nice, you snake in the grass. I knew it would come down to you hitting on me, you have no honor." The blonde boy winced at the last comment and snapped back at her. "What are you talking about? Did you not hear the names of the others invited?" "Yes, and when I show up, they magically won't write, that's how deviants like you operate. No wonder no one hangs out with you, you damn snake." With that the girl stormed off leaving the blonde boy to stew. It was after the girl was gone that the boy unzipped his trademark orange jacket revealing blood flowing from his side. After fishing around in his coat pocket he pulled out the crushed remains of a gift box, with a bloody piece of glass protruding from the box. He opened the box and poured out the remains of a glass cherry blossom tree into his hands. The girls looked on in horror as the young boy clenched his fist around the shards until blood dripped from his hand. Way to screw things up again, you reject. The boy cursed himself as he turned and walked away. As the boy tossed the bloody shards of glass into the air, the haze swirled, erasing the scene. Ino looked around to find Sakura on the floor crying softly. Sakura, I don't know what to say. Hell, what can I say? You can say, wow, what a bitch. Or how about you stupid piece of dirt? No wait, scum. You stupid piece of scum. The Kyuubi's voice riddled with anger as he mocked the now openly sobbing Sakura. Stop it, please, Ino said, half demanding, half pleading. No way, Blondie, you want to play with minds. Now I'm playing and I'm enjoying every minute of it. Besides, there is one more that I think you have to see. Don't worry, I'll make it quick. Shut up, we're not watching another second. You make it seem like you have a choice. The Kyuubi laughed as blood-red strings of chakra wrapped around the young kunoichi, locking their bodies in place. Sakura, determined not to watch any more of the nightmare, closed her eyes with all her might. That won't work, Pinky. You see, you're not in a physical body. Everything you see right now is experienced directly by your consciousness, so you'll know what's going on regardless. That being said, here we go. With that, the haze swirled violently and cleared to reveal Naruto and Sasuke facing each other on a bridge. Naruto was torn and bloody, the holes in his stomach clearly visible, but in his hands he held the head of the legendary Snake Sanin. Sasuke, save for a few rips in his clothing, was fine. Naruto held out the head of Orochimaru to Sasuke. You see this, Sasuke? He's dead, it's over. To this the Uchiha only smirked. Come on, Sasuke, come home, to the people that care about you. To who, Naruto? The Uchiha's voice coated in venom. To you? To Team 7. Huh, or is it? Yeah, that's it, you mean to Cherry Blossom, right? To all those, Sasuke. To everyone, they're all waiting. And they'll continue to wait until they learn to let go. Damn it, Sasuke, what the hell is wrong with you? Nothing, Naruto, I've just opened my eyes, that's all. I'm no longer blinded by fluffy dreams, or held down by stupid ideology. Like you and your precious people, or Cherry Blossom and her insistence that love is everything. Huh, the ignorance. Did she tell you, Naruto, her offer to me the night that I left? Anything, she offered me anything, her heart, mind, body, and soul to me, Naruto, to me. Sasuke smirked when he saw the pain flash in Naruto's eyes. She even begged me to take her with me. She'd abandon her family, her friends, her village, for me. She begged me to take her away from you, Naruto. Huh? Where's your grin now, Naruto? You treated her better than anyone I know, and she wouldn't have had a second thought about leaving you. How does it feel, Naruto? Huh? How does it feel to be dead last, even in the eyes of the one you love? It feels just fine to me, you bastard. You said it yourself, I have always done what I can to see her happy, and a few revelations won't change that. I'd gladly be dead last forever if it meant that she could smile like she used to. And that means taking you back home, so shut your mouth for once and let's do this. Either we're both coming home or neither of us are. With that, the blonde threw the head of Orochimaru to the ground and a familiar ball of chakra began to form in the blonde's left hand. Fine then, Naruto Uzumaki, even without my curse seal your life will end here. Sasuke screamed as the sound of birds erupted. Chidori. Rasengan. As they closed in on each other, eyes locked, one could make out the form of tears falling out of the eyes of one, Naruto Uzumaki. As they reached striking distance, Sasuke lunged for the heart of his former teammate. His eyes widened when the blonde shinobi used his Rasengan as a shield and diverted the Chidori away from his heart and into his shoulder. A flash of light enveloped the two warriors. There they stood, Sasuke with his hand through Naruto's shoulder and Naruto with his hands holding the Uchiha by the collar. Why? The shocked Uchiha asked. Naruto just smiled. Because there's a promise that I intend on keeping. With that, Naruto landed a knee to Sasuke's gut. That's for this hole in my shoulder. Before Sasuke could react, Naruto used his good arm to uppercut the Uchiha in the face. That's for the village. Naruto kicked the now reeling Sasuke in the face. That's for all of our friends. Naruto needs Sasuke again in the stomach and then a second time in the head. Those are for Choji and Neji, who both almost died trying to drag your ass back home. Naruto then connected with a right hook. That's for Kakashi, Tsunade, and the third who you've deliberately disrespected by pulling something like this. Naruto then unleashed a sickening headbutt on the Uchiha, sending him crashing to the ground. That's for every ounce of pain and grief you have caused every single person who has cared about you as a person or as a fellow ninja. Sasuke, at this point in time, you are the saddest thing I've ever seen in my life. Naruto then walked over to the now unconscious Sasuke and gently hoisted him on his good shoulder. And this is for Sakura-chan. The mumbled weakly as he began to walk away. The scene disappeared into the haze, leaving the two kunoichi shell-shocked. After a brief moment of silence, Ino broke down, while Sakura just sat staring into the haze. Lies. It's a lie, was all the pink-haired Kunoichi could mumble. Sakura, what are you talking about? Ino managed to ask in between sobs. They're lies, they have to be, Sakura shrieked. What a hell of a day. Naruto sighed as he lay in his hospital bed staring at the ceiling. He was alone, with only the symphony of medical machinery to keep him company. It had been only one day since he woke up to find that all hell had broken loose. Flashback. Naruto awoke to the sounds of a scuffle. He opened his eyes to find, to his utmost surprise, Hinata of all people having to be restrained by Shikamaru. On the other side of his bed sat a sobbing Ino and extremely quiet Sakura. Not much was technically being said between the four, more like roars from Hinata, grunts from Shikamaru, sobs from Ino, and well, nothing from Sakura. What the hell is going on? Naruto asked softly. Silence rained down upon them, that is until Hinata pounced on the now very confused shinobi. Naruto-kun, I'm sorry, I shouldn't have fallen asleep, I should have protected you, cried a now sobbing Hinata. Stop crying, Hinata, you did nothing wrong, but I didn't do anything right either. I never do anything right. Her momentary lapse into sadness was brought to a halt by a flick to the forehead from Naruto. No more self-loathing, okay? Besides, you've done right by me for as long as I've known you, and if what you've been doing your entire life is wrong, then it's this screwed up world that isn't right, got it? Hi. Was all Hinata answered as she snuggled into an embrace from him. With Hinata still in his arms, Naruto turned towards Shikamaru, who was sending a death glare towards Ino. So does anyone want to tell me what's going on? It seems everybody's favorite fools over there were messing with your mind. Compliments of the Yamanaka. Shikamaru spat out Ino's name, obviously not pleased with his friend. But to everyone's surprise, Naruto didn't blow up, he didn't yell, hell, he smiled and laughed. Don't worry about it. If I know Q-chan, they have been punished enough. Naruto, only you could call the Lord of all hell, Q-chan, and get away with it. Shikamaru sighed. Damn straight. So Ino, what do you have to say for yourself? Ino told them what had happened from the talk to the flower shop all the way to the meeting of the Kyuubi. So he showed you my memories, huh? Ino only nodded. Which ones? The one where you're beaten by that mob. Ino's eyes began to water. Tons of those. One of your birthdays. She began to sniffle. Those are always fun. Sakura's birthday and the cherry blossom tree. Ino began to sob softly. Ah yes, who could forget that one? The fight with Sasuke. Ino was now wailing. Before Naruto could respond, Ino ran to his bed and threw her arms around him. Oh God, Naruto, I'm so sorry, forgive me. I was foolish, I'm sorry. Naruto gently released one arm from Hinata and turned to encompass both girls in a half hug each. It's okay, Ino, really just no more crying, okay. The blonde girl only nodded slightly as Naruto rubbed her back, trying to comfort her. Look, Ino, I forgive you. Both of you. Now smile, okay. The blonde girl smiled and nodded, then, whether she did this knowingly or not is still unknown, she snuggled farther into Naruto and began to nuzzle his neck with her nose. Any other time Naruto would have been both flattered and pleased, however he had seen enough fights over Sasuke when they were younger to know that Hinata wasn't turning red due to embarrassment. The next sound heard throughout the hospital room was a resounding smack as Hinata backhanded Ino off of Naruto. It wasn't necessarily a hard strike, but it sure as hell wasn't soft either. Naruto-kun may forgive you, but I don't. He's been through so much, for everyone but himself, and you still suspect, you still don't acknowledge that maybe he's as great as he is. Then instead of going the honest route and maybe talking to him like you would anybody else, you dig around in his mind like isn't a human being. You take away the one thing that this damn village can never take away, his humanity. Don't even get me started on the fact that your original plan was to mess with my mind. You want to know what I see? I like everyone else who has been blessed enough to not be cursed with your blindness. See a man who does everything for nothing, someone who protects the lives of those who swear on that same life to end his. I see a man who, despite how he may act or what he may say, has been hurt more than this entire village could ever make up for. But most of all, I see a man who we should all be thankful for, someone that we should consider ourselves blessed for even knowing. A hero we don't deserve. By the end of her rant, the young Hyuga heiress was in tears once again, seeking comfort in the arms of Naruto. I must agree with you there, Hinata. Everybody turned to face the new speaker as she walked through the curtain. Oba-chan, how long have you been here? Naruto asked, suddenly very nervous. Since about the time Hinata pounced on you. She then sent a glare at Ino and Sakura that set fire to their very souls. You two, I should have you thrown in jail and leave you to rot there. However, I think I'm going to settle for a good old-fashioned beating. With that, the Godem Hokage stormed over to Ino, who was now firmly molded in the fetal position. As the Slug Sannin and for all intents and purposes surrogate mother of Naruto raised her fist to deliver her maternal wrath, she was brought to a halt by her son. No, Ba-chan. Let them go. Huh? Why? I've already forgiven them, so how can the village punish someone that the victim has forgiven? Very easily. Forgiven or not, a law was still broken. Ba-chan, look at them. They've had enough. You're too forgiving for your own good, brat. I'll say. A new voice rang out as the sound of a blow being landed echoed throughout the room. The occupants of the room turned to see Sakura on the floor clutching her cheek, staring wide-eyed at none other than Sabaku no Tamari. Hey Pinky, I think me and you need to have a little chat about what you did to my Ototo. Sakura wasted no time in standing up and fleeing out the only exit left, the window. As soon as she jumped out the window and fled, the voice of Naruto's other newfound sibling rang out from outside. Oi, bimbo. Did you think being a coward will save you? Soon the forms of Kankuro chasing the fleeing Sakura blurred by the window. Later, Ototo. Tamari said rather happily for someone who was hunting another human being. Oni-chan. Don't kill her. No promises. Tamari sighed as she exited via the window and joined the pursuit. Well, I guess that's punishment enough. Tsunade sighed, breaking the silence that had enveloped the room. So what to do about you, Ino? The blonde cringed and sank deeper into the fetal position. Ba-chan, leave her alone. Besides, the moment they hear that she used a move on the demon brat, there is no way the council will let you do anything to punish her. Hell, she'll probably get the same royal treatment. You're probably right. Although, Ino, you're free to go, but your clan will be notified of your actions and punishment will be left to them. Why, yes ma'am. I truly am sorry, Naruto. Hinata, thank you. I think you may have corrected my vision. Before anybody could act, the blonde walked out the door. After a brief silence, Tsunade turned to the still clinging Hinata. Thank you, Hinata. This little bleeding heart always was too nice to defend himself. Hinata just nodded affirmatively and snuggled into Naruto's non-impaled shoulder. To which Tsunade couldn't help but smile. Now if that's all done with, I need to talk to Naruto. Alone, so if you two would be so kind as to give us some privacy. Although hesitant at first, both Hinata and a now bored Shikamaru got up and exited the room. Tsunade and Naruto sat there in silence for what seemed like an eternity. Just as Naruto was going to speak, he was ensnared in a powerful embrace by the Godem Hokage. Ba-chan? I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Sorry for what, Ba-chan? I couldn't stop it, I was overruled. A sickening realization dawned on Naruto. I'm screwed, aren't I? Yes, I'm sorry. Don't worry about it, I put their little Uchiha in a coma. I've been expecting this since I took a step through that gate. So just how bad is it? I was able to pull enough strings to avoid execution, exile. The normally strong-willed Sannin broke down sobbing, held in the arms of her son. There she was, standing there in all her surreal beauty. His heart leapt with joy, while his mind cringed in terror. Naruto-kun. How are you feeling? The lavender-eyed heiress questioned. Something is wrong, I just feel it. Just fine, Hinata-chan. God, she's beautiful, both body and soul. Damn it, no, Naruto. You'll only make it harder. Naruto-kun, could I talk to you for a bit? It's something important. In fact, it was something important. Today was the day she would make her feelings known. Hinata had come to this resolution through awkward means. Flashback: Hinata Hyuga woke up that morning, saddened that her room had not burned down. How could she have acted like that? She was hanging all over Naruto like some damn fangirl. She even struck Ino. Now jealousy had never been a huge part of the heiress' life. Sure, she would have liked to have had the attention of Naruto the way Sakura had, but she always felt that she was happy for Sakura more than she was angry with her. Then yesterday when Ino began nuzzling her Naruto, what the hell was wrong with her? Sorry, that was all me. A voice spoke. Who's there? Hinata called out as she scanned her room. I'm not out there, I'm in your head. What? I'm in your head, and you should really think about not talking out loud. People will think that you're nuts. Mentally, Hinata answered. So who or why you? I'm an inner, your inner. Inner, Hinata replied. My what? Your inner, how'd I explain? I guess I'm kind of a manifestation of what you would want to be like. How come I didn't notice you till now? Your love for Naruto-kun, and the fact that you almost lost him as well as other, circumstances, have brought me out to the forefront. Oh, look, don't worry, key things you should be aware of. 1. We both love Naruto-kun, and are willing to give up everything to be with him, right? Hi. 2. I plan to do everything in my power to help you win his affections. The reason you acted the way you did yesterday is that I kind of took over, and for that I apologize. Wait, so you can just take over? No, you'll be able to keep me suppressed most of the time. I was just really mad and you didn't know what was going on. Oh, okay. Third, today is a special day, and do you know why?
And not really. Today is the day you confess. I can't. It's too soon. Nonsense, it's the perfect time. The biggest obstacle for his heart hates him. He has never been more affectionate to you than he has in the last couple of days, and lastly you know you want to. Besides, if you don't hurry there are gonna be some new obstacles arising very quickly. What do you mean? That Yamanaka girl seems to have seriously taken at least a general interest in him. You never know what might grow from that. That Sand Kunoichi that keeps calling him little brother will quickly discover true feelings for him if that lazy guy doesn't keep her happy. The little ramen girl has always had feelings for the boy and is probably just trying to work up enough courage to confess. Last but not least, your little sister has taken to slight hero worship of the boy ever since he beat Neji, and don't even think about ignoring it, because if I remember correctly your undying love started out as a little innocent hero worship. How do you know all of this? Analyzing all of your memories. Even if you couldn't realize it, I can. Now come on, ask while you can. For our future. Hi. With that, Hinata sprung out of bed, determination ablaze in her eyes.
End flashback. Hinata-chan? Naruto questioned as the girl stood there before his bed lost in thought. I'm sorry, I got lost in my thoughts. Naruto, there is something I need to tell you, and now seems like the right time. Stated the Hyuga heiress, using every ounce of her will to keep from stuttering. Oh really, what is that? Replied Naruto, though internally his mind was racing. Please don't let this be what I think this is. I wouldn't be able to take it. Naruto-kun, I've known you for quite some time. You are one of my first real friends, and you've been an inspiration to me on many occasions. Over the past couple of days we have only grown closer, and as awkward as this may sound, they have been the happiest days of my life. I wish to say what should have been said years ago, Naruto. I don't say it. Naruto cut Hinata off. Damn it, why now? Please let her just understand and drop it.
But Naruto-kun, I'm trying to say, it's better left unsaid, Hinata-chan. Unsaid, unheard, and unspoken. Naruto could now visibly see the tears forming in her eyes. I'm such a heartless bastard, I don't deserve an angel. Please God, you owe me at least this, don't let her hurt too much.
Naruto-kun, don't you ever say those words. Naruto stated coldly, although Hinata could clearly see the tears in his eyes. Hinata, forgive me. Why? Hinata choked out. I can't, I said why, she sobbed. What do you want me to say? I can't, I just can't. Naruto's voice began to crack. You know how I feel, Naruto Uzumaki, whether you hear it or not, you damn well know how I feel. It won't change whether you like it or not, my heart won't change, Naruto-kun. Hinata sobbed as she walked over to try to embrace Naruto, only to be by his hands on her shoulders. I'm sorry, Hinata-chan. I don't expect you to forgive me, but at least know that I'm sorry. God spare her, she doesn't deserve this. Understand, Hinata-chan, I'm trying to save you from the curse of me. I just want to see you happy. Even if it means making you hate me. The distraught heiress burst into laughter. You want me to be happy? You bastard, you want me to be happy. You're not some damn curse. If you'd listen to those who care about you instead of the idiot villagers, you'd see that. You're a hero, Naruto, I know that in my heart. I just don't know why the hero I know you are won't save me from this loneliness. I'm drowning, Naruto-kun, and you standing there watching me, Hinata said with the most soul-shattering smile plastered onto her tear-flooded face. As she turned to leave, she heard the love of her life utter one last sentence. I'm saving you more than you know, and she was gone. Dawn broke the next day in the village of Konoha. Birds were singing, children were laughing, and the sun gave its warmth to the earth. For two now broken individuals, it was a sickening reminder that reality in general could care less about one person's problems, but reality is just cruel. Both of the broken had just navigated a night full of nightmares and regrets. Hinata awoke to find that she was already crying, dead inside. She wanted nothing more than to lie in bed all day and let her misery consume her. Unfortunately, as we discussed, reality is a bastard, and the world decided to kick her when she was down. The Hyuga heiress was pulled from her thoughts by the sounds of a light knocking on her door. Without waiting for an answer, the door opened to reveal Hinata's younger sister Hanabi. Sister, you're late, are you ill? No, Hanabi. Hinata voice cracked. Is something wrong? No, Hanabi. Hinata looked towards the floor. Liar. No, Hana, what? You lie. I heard you last night, sister. No one cries themselves to sleep for no reason. Oh, sister, it's nothing. Really, it's about Uzumaki-san, is it not? No, so it is about Uzumaki-san. No, it isn't, really. I don't even like him that much anyway. Do I look stupid to you? Sister, what is it? Tell me now or I'll just have to go talk to father about this. No, Okay, I'll talk, just don't drag that bastard into this. Okay, now talk. He doesn't love me, it's no use. I confessed, or at least tried to, he wouldn't let me, Hanabi. During the course of Hinata's reply, her sister's face changed from slightly caring to downright furious. Those bastards, they actually did it, damn them.
Hanabi, what's the matter? Tell me. Hinata don't do anything stupid, but when I was walking by father's study a couple of days ago, I heard him talking with some of the elders. Sister, 2 words stuck with me from that conversation, Uzumaki and exile.
What? Oh God, he was protecting me, damn it, he's always protecting me. All the things I said to him, I have to apologize, to hell with it all ending like this. With that, the normally timid Hyuga heiress charged into the streets of Konoha towards the hospital room in which her love, her future waited for her. Unfortunately for said heiress, said hospital room was now empty save for the ever-slumbering last Uchiha. Her love, gone. Where, one may ask? Simple really. Dawn awoke Uzumaki Naruto this morning with thoughts of his life racing through his mind. A few good, most not, but what really laid on the mind of the young shinobi was the destruction he had wrought on his Angel-chan. Her words still ran through his mind, paining him more than any jutsu could. Uzumaki Naruto now stood on the edge of the Hokage monument looking down at the village that he had strived to protect for so long.
And felt nothing. Strange really, home to so many of his memories, yet he still felt nothing. He had just finished an hour-long conversation with his tenant, the cause of all his problems yet also his biggest ally. Why the conversation, you may ask? It was simply their making peace. You see, during the course of the morning, Naruto had decided that his life, if you could call it that really, was simply not worth living anymore. And thus he took his last 3 steps of his life.
1. I doubt they'll forgive me, then again I doubt they really understand anymore. Geez, what the hell was I thinking? At least I gave life a try, I guess. I could have just let them kill me when I was younger, although it does seem like such a wasted effort. 2. Regrets? Hell yeah, I have regrets, I mean, who wouldn't?
I regret that I didn't just kill them. I regret ever making such a stupid promise to such a stupid girl. Man, what the hell was I thinking? Don't suppose God will give me a mulligan on that one. I regret that I'm about to give all the bastards something to be happy about, while hurting all those that I actually do care. I regret a lot of things, but I guess when you're only holding on by a single thread. And then you cut that thread yourself, the only thing left to do is fall nay.
The breeze chilled his face, keeping the warmth of the sun at bay. This was it, he was giving up, first time for everything, right? Now if only he could figure out why the hell he wasn't moving. Then it happened, he began to fall, backwards. What the hell? I can't even kill myself, right? His thoughts were brought to an abrupt halt as his body met the ground. His body sat up of its own accord and he stared out over the village. Then like a right hook from Tsunade it hit him. Why else would his body disobey his mind? That bastard. You know, Naruto, some people might be shocked, all I really am is kinda disappointed really. Drawled the lazy tone of Shikamaru. I mean, jumping off of Hokage monument, really, where's the pizzazz, the flair that is Uzumaki Naruto He chuckled lightly. I don't suppose you would believe it was meant to be symbolic, would you? Naruto smirked. Not a chance, more like this was the only thing you could come up with on such short notice, right? Yeah, you're right, so you gonna release your damn shadow bind and let me go? Knowing it was useless to struggle against the shadow user's signature technique?
Not while you're on this suicide trip. So, y'all wanna talk about it?
Not really. I'm just tired of it, ya know? Naruto said with a weary sigh. No, can't say I do. I do know, however, that as tired as you maybe you don't really want this. I don't, nope. You want to live, you want to love, you want to raise some kids, and you want to be acknowledged. So how do you plan to do all those things when you're nothing more than a splotch on the ground below? How exactly do you know what I want? It's the way of the world, Naruto. The ordinary crave to be extraordinary, and the same extraordinary that we all strive to be, would give everything just to have what we do. Geez, you get that out of a fortune cookie? Naruto grumbled. No greater source of wisdom on the planet. Shikamaru replied. Afterwards a small silence enveloped them. So, what's wrong? Exile. Plain and simple exile. Though I have to say I expected execution, I guess that counts as a small victory. That's not the reason for the whole flying leap though. It's Hinata, isn't it? Only someone as troublesome as you two would finally realize your feelings when one of you is about to be banished. So I assume she knows.
No, not from me anyway. You should have seen it. She was so cute, mustering all her confidence. I didn't even let her get the words out of her mouth.
And of course you didn't tell her how you felt. Shikamaru sighed.
I couldn't do that to her, Shikamaru. Could you? I love you, now I must leave and never come back. I'd kill myself before I would do that to her, and here I am. That's also why I never planned on telling the others about this damned exile. So, will you let me go? A now teary-eyed Naruto asked.
Dude, I let go of you somewhere around the fortune cookie comment. All that resistance is all you. Look Naruto. In the end it's your decision, but doing this is gonna hurt her and the others worse than if you just walked out those gates. Now I'm gonna go tell everybody about the exile, if only because I know you are damn well too selfless to take your life away from us. I won't say goodbye Naruto, so see ya around. Naruto stood up, hot tears blazing down his cheeks. The village down below. What to do? Where to go?
Damn it, what the hell do you want from me? He screamed towards the heavens. You don't want me to live, and you damn well won't let me die. He fell to his knees, sobs racking his body. I hate, I can't love, I can't do anything.
Then he cried. For the first time in years he had a full-blown breakdown. So wrapped up in his grieving he didn't even know he was not alone until a pair of slender arms wrapped his shoulders from behind. Naruto-kun, it's okay. Let it all out. The soft voice of Hinata Hyuga called as she pulled the distraught boy from the ledge.
She eventually settled for sitting down under a tree, the weeping boy she loved sitting between her legs, his back being held against her chest.
It's okay. Naruto-kun, I'm here, and I'm never going to leave your side. After about half an hour later Naruto had calmed enough to gently switch their seating position to put him against the tree and Hinata in his lap. They sat there quietly, Naruto using his hands to rub Hinata's back and stroke her hair, Hinata rubbing small circles on Naruto's chest, softly humming a melody. Thanks for watching. Also remember to subscribe and like this video. See you in the next video.